Golf Central on YouTube, brought to you by TaylorMade.
Take a look at this small table of players to win an NCAA individual championship and on the PGA Tour in the same year. Crenshaw, 73 in San Antonio. Tiger Woods a couple times. Vegas and Disney, and Matthew Wolff a year ago at the 3M. Now, somebody who has seen most of his special moments since arriving in Stillwater and after turning professional, well, that's Steve Burkowski, and he's at TPC Twin Cities for us all week. Burko?
Gary, it was a year ago here in Minnesota when Matthew Wolff picked up that maiden victory in just his third start as a professional. He became the first player to win his first PGA Tour event before his 21st birthday since 2013, when Jordan Spieth did so at the John Deere Classic. It certainly has been a whirlwind for Wolff since leaving Oklahoma State last spring.
It's really unbelievable. I think, every single time that I do, miss a cut or get down on myself, not really, kind of struggling about where my game's at, I kind of do have to, think back and be like, gosh, I could be in college right now. I could be, which wouldn't be the worst thing. College is a great time, but, still trying to, see if I was meant to be out here. And I feel like I've already proved that to myself. I've already proved it to everyone else that I should be out here. And so as much as I, want to play great week in and week out, and as much as I feel like I could be one of the best players in the world right now, I'm still really young. I'm still, learning every week, mentally, physically, how these best players in the world, like Jon Rahm and Justin Thomas and all these people, what they do so well and what makes them so consistent. And so I feel like I've learned so much more this 1 year that I've been out here than I did the 2 years in college, and I feel like I'm only going to learn more as I have a longer and hopefully better career. The expectation part was probably the biggest thing. I feel like as soon as I won this, I was feeling really good about my game. I know I could win out here. I know I could compete out here week in and week out, and I feel like sometimes if I didn't have my game or the travel, the fatigue of all that maybe caught up to me a little bit. I was more maybe expecting myself to play well because I did here. So it's been a little difficult, missing cuts and stuff like that. I feel like everyone's going to miss cuts, and you really can't let it get to you as much. But like I said, looking back at this week, it gave me more confidence knowing that I can play out here, and not so much expecting more, but just knowing that I can do more.
This week marks the 7th consecutive start on the PGA Tour for Matthew Wolff, who told me earlier today he's been working on a few things with his swing, and he said the best way to get 100% comfortable with those things is to do so in a competitive environment. Gary?
All right, Burko, you take a look at Matt Wolff since winning those 20 starts. That one top 10 was a couple of weeks ago at the Rocket Mortgage when he was the 54-hole leader. Bryson DeChambeau was just simply too good for everybody. 8 top 25s, so 5 missed cuts. And again, when you win that early, all of a sudden the expectation is, well, you'll be in the top 10 every week. The fact is he's got to win. He's added a second as well. Yeah. Tripp, look, he is unique. He's explosive. Give me the year assessment of Matt Wolff.
Absolute. Look, this is part of learning the PGA Tour. I spent some time with him at Bay Hill and just talking about learning the golf courses, getting to see these for the first time. And that's respectable, 5 missed cuts. He's always going to be that kind of player that's when he's off, he probably will miss some cuts every now and then. But, 8 top 25s out of 20 starts, respectable.
NBC Twin Cities, an original Arnold Palmer design with assistance from Tom Lehman, is set to play host to the PGA Tour starting tomorrow. Now, Tommy Fleetwood has been coming increasingly closer to breaking through for the first time on tour, with his second-to-last start producing a third-place finish at the Honda Classic. This is start number 1 since the restart of the PGA Tour. His decompression chamber, the gilded stretch of some of America's finest on the eastern tip of Long Island. That scorecard, 64 at Shinnecock. One worse, actually, than his final round of the 2018 U.S. Open. Here was Tommy's thoughts earlier today with our Steve Burkowski.
So I did 2 weeks quarantine, which the family came over for, 2 weeks quarantine before this, and right now they've gone home, and now I've got 9 weeks, which will be on my own through past the US Open. So it's a long period of time. I'm going to play all the events, hopefully, and it's a long stretch. Of course, like tournament golf and tournament setups ask different questions, and I'm going to see on Thursday. It's always difficult when you're not in the rhythm of it all to get out there and play, but that's not going to be an excuse. I've played plenty of golf, and if I can swing it like I have been doing, then I'll be absolutely fine. I've played some lovely golf, feel like I'm in a nice spot, and I'm looking forward to going in. And no matter what, whatever happens this week, I'm going to learn from it, and I'll be pushed. I'll kick on from there. But hopefully, there'll be no reason or no excuses why I can't do well this week.
His production over the last couple of years has been really good. This is somebody who is splitting time between the European Tour and the PGA Tour. That one win at the Nedbank in South Africa, 8 top threes. He was the last line of defense to Shane Lowry at the Open Championship last summer. 37 top 25s. That miscut streak broken at the API, which was the last official start because the players did not happen. So, Tripp, he keeps closing the gap. He keeps putting himself right there. What is going to slam the door on him getting that first win here?
This is going to be a birdie fest. I mean, there were over 2,000 birdies or better here on this golf course. That was more than any single golf course on the PGA Tour last season. So it's a birdie fest. Look, for him this week, it's going to have to be a hot putter. And what you would certainly look at is that would be where you could be deficient, coming back and not playing competitive golf for a while. If you recall, you remember the first tournament back at Colonial, we saw a lot of putts that we're not seeing missed now that were being missed that week from that distance. So that would be the big test for me. But one thing I love, Gary, I get to why I watch this guy every time I'm out and he's in a tournament. I stand behind him and watch him hit balls because the acoustics of his strike with his irons, it is a heavy hit. It's got that Rory Tiger, there's just a heaviness about it, and that's a good thing. Trust me, a heavy hit acoustically, you long for that sound to make it yourself. He makes it almost every time. He hits a beautiful, tight draw. I mean, it's a 3 to 5 yard draw almost every time. He can work it left to right, but you know what? Tee to green, I don't think there's going to be any problem with him. And obviously, shooting a 64 at Shinnecock, he obviously likes that place too. But to go low on a golf course like that, on a place he's going to need to go low this week, we'll see. I've got to make my pick in a little bit, but we'll see.
Look, it's a great time for English golfers. The density of players in the top 50. He's got Tyrrell Hatton on his heels.
Yeah.
Will Tommy Fleetwood be the highest-ranked English-born player at the end of this year?
End of this year? Golly, he's going to have
to win. 3 majors, good in majors. He's a big-game hunter.
He's going to, but Tyrrell Hatton's been
off the charts good.
I know. I'm going to have to say no just because of the trend of Tyrrell Hatton.
Okay.
That's all. But I think Tommy's going to have something to say about it.
Now, we have a couple different things. We need a winner, and we need a winner inside the event.
Inside the event, somebody that could get in the U.S. Open. The winner, I told you earlier, I really like this guy. And look, this is going to be a birdie fest. I'm going out on a limb here and saying Tommy Fleetwood. I just am because I know how well he's going to strike his golf ball. I saw enough things in the today when he was out playing earlier. The swing looks beautiful to me. I think he can play birdie ball this week. I really do. I think the putter these greens are pretty simple to putt, and it doesn't take a lot of knowledge to read them. And I think that Tommy Fleetwood is going to have success on the greens because we know getting to the greens is never a problem for Tommy Fleetwood.
Okay, so out of mothballs into the winner's circle for Tommy.
Yep, exactly. And it's about time. It's about time.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Now, look, last week we saw 2 players, Ryan Palmer being one of them, Mackenzie Hughes being another, get into the U.S. Open. Top 2 players not already exempt into it, inside the top 10 again this week.
How about the guy that Mackenzie Hughes edged out in a world ranking thing last week with their tie for 6th finish? I'm talking about Henrik Norlander.
Like it.
Look, I think you ride a hot putter. He was 2nd last week in putting. So his riding a hot putter on birdie ball, That's typically what you want. You want somebody who's putting the greens very well. Now, the greens at Memorial quite a bit, maybe a little faster than what they'll see this week, but they are beautiful surfaces. And I think when you've got that hot, flat stick, you just keep pushing it. And I think that Henrik will have back-to-back top 10s, and this time he won't need a playoff to do it.
You know, what's interesting is that we've had all these great stacked fields, which has been really good for the PGA Tour, is it's been kind of, along with NASCAR and UFC, kind of standing alone. But now we've got a week where this really is an opportunity. You got 4 in the top 20. You're picking one of the highest-ranked players in the field.
I am.
But this is a golden opportunity for somebody who maybe hadn't won in a while or has never won.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at what he's done. He's had, you look at worldwide what he's had. He's had a win. He's had 3 second-place finishes. He's had a third, a fourth, a fifth in the last year. He's done everything but win on this tour. And he plays well. He's a big-game hunter. He likes the big tournaments, too.